A really long time ago now, one of my viewers asked me how we can do this type of effect that is right here on the today.com website. So it's like the shop today, that weird line thing that's going around like that. I think it's a really cool effect, and I've been wanting to do it for a long time. I've had it in my to-do list, and I saw it as a good opportunity to start a new series that I'm going to be doing here on YouTube for every now and then, which is trying to clone little things like this on websites, but showing you my entire sort of workflow throughout the entire thing and how I troubleshoot and all of that. So it is one where it's not just a clean tutorial that just bangs it out. I want to show you the things that I get right, the things that get wrong, how I figure it out, and really try and talk my way through the thought process as I try and create it. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, let's dive in. Alright, so I've already styled some stuff up here to get this working and looking the way it looks right now. I am using a Sass starter kit that I have, so I already have some utility classes and other stuff, but I've sort of self-decorated and done some stuff in here already. And now I want to focus on this shop today thing, because the rest of this I don't think is anything too complicated. You'll notice my fonts aren't exactly the same, nothing's there. I didn't bother with the button because it's nothing complicated. I really would just want to focus on like this thing right here. And so if we want to go to my index here and just take a look at it really fast, I do have a sidebar, and like this whole component thing, that entire thing would be my sidebar. Then in there I have a title with border, which is the shop today text. And then I have a UL, so each one of these is a list item that is my content snippets that they're inside of. And they all need to sort of be in the same place. So yeah, that's what I've done for that. And again, we're not matching the whole site. I'm not turning this into a design system. So, but I do think having something like this with that guy on there would be useful to have. And I'm just trying to think. So let's just do, so it's title with border. And my first thing I'm gonna do is a border top of 1 pixel solid, and then I have HSL, and I have a variable set up for this, which is color primary 400, I believe. That's the wrong color though, that's blue. Primary accent. If you want to know why I'm doing the HSL and then the variable inside of it, I do have a video, you can check that out. There's just some, it opens up an extra door on stuff you can do with it. My color's a little off, but I'm not too stressed about that. And we'll add some padding. We're gonna need padding on all the sides, I think. So for now, I'm just gonna do 1M on the top. Let's just do 1M like that. And I was thinking, okay, so we're gonna do another thing here. So border padding, I am gonna throw a width here of max content, which is gonna help make sure. So see how like it was going the full length here. Let's just turn that off. It was going the full length because it's a block level element. But a nice thing you can do is this max content, which will limit the width to the content itself. So if I come here and like this is a shorter title, let's just turn word wrap on. But if I did shop today now, instead, you'll see that like it's growing or shrinking with the text. So that's always nice when it's not like a locked in units or anything like that. So the text can change and other things can change along with it. So that's good. Now I'm going to be using pseudo elements for this. I guess I have two choices. One of them is this H2, which was, I want my H2 to be something like this title with border. I want it to be able to go anywhere whatsoever. Let's just do two things here. Text primary 400, maybe 300 actually be closer to the color. I keep doing primary instead of accent. It's a little faded out, eh? We'll just do the 400 to be a bit darker. I'm worried more about getting the look than I am that. So padding, I'm gonna go with maybe top should be like a 0.5M, and then a left and a right of maybe 2M. And I might change that 2M into a custom property. But we'll see. That I'm just looking like this, I need to line it up with there, but that's why I might do this like this. Left offset of 2M, and then here I could do a var left offset. And the reason I might do that is because then what I could actually do is come in with a transform translate x and then do a negative and then translate X, and I could do my var left offset. Except it has to be negative. Can I just do this? Negative var offset? No. Calc of -1 star that, and then just make sure I close with enough parentheses. Ha, there we go. Okay, so that's why now, like, the nice thing here is I can actually change this, and it's going to update the offset and the padding all at the same time. So that just makes it a bit more maintainable in the long run. So that's a border, but then I need pseudo-element, 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 which is too many pseudo-elements. So there are two choices here. Ideally, all of this would be with him. So I'm going to set it up so we can do that. And the other option, though, I would just say is maybe you do it with like 2 pseudo-elements on this guy. I do think it's easier to keep them all on that. I'm just pseudo-element, pseudo-element. Yeah, so my idea now is like this is actually all a border, and that's this has a border all the way. We just won't see it. It's going to be hiding behind that. Which does actually, oh, you know what? There is a way to, yes. I just thought of something. We'll talk about it when I get there. Because again, I'm thinking about maintainability as if this was in something bigger and not just here. Because playing with Z indexes, you wouldn't want to have to say like anyway, we'll talk about it when we get there. What we're going to do now is, so I have that. So let's do my title with border. Might as well just copy that. And before and my title with border after. So for these, we need content properties on them, content. And if you don't know about before and after, I have a playlist there that you can check out, which dives deep. It's also linked in the description below. And I'll do a position of absolute. Now, if I'm doing a position of absolute on here, that means I also want to have a position of relative on here. So we'll come here, position of relative. So that just makes it so the title itself is the containing block. And then let's just do it border. I'm going to do, oh no, okay, that's good. That's for both of them. And then we can just take the before. And custom properties are inherited, so we might be able to do something good with that. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to try. So let's actually, no, it won't help us. Let's just do a right of 0 and a border of 1 pixel solid. I can even do current color here. Okay, so we can see it's in the right spot there, right? And then what if I did top is 0? And then the height is going to be 1.5 m. And this is, again, and so it's too high. Oh, it looks thicker too, eh? Weird, because it's at 1 pixel. I mean, that's sort of what I wanted. I'm just trying to think. If ever I changed this, so that's my left offset, and then what if I did a padding? I can just do top padding of 0.5 m. And again, this is just to make it so it's longer to set up, var top padding. So that should still work. But then the advantage is, so the height here would be var calc top calc of 2 times var top padding. Does that work? Okay, it does. So the advantage with doing it this way, again, is now if I change this, the padding shrinks, but then so does this. Or, you know what? Maybe we don't need to do that. I'll leave that there for now, but it also didn't seem to work the way I thought. Instead of a height, what if I just said bottom is 50%? That probably makes more sense, right? Because then if I change this, it's always gonna match. Okay, that makes more sense. So let's switch this. I like custom properties as much as possible, but I also think for putting them in for one thing doesn't really serve a purpose, so it doesn't really make it more maintainable. So we'll stick with this. So it's going down that way. Then I want my after. So luckily my bottom is 50%. So now I'm going to say top is 50%. 50%. 50%. Haha. So the top is going to be at the same spot, and then we're going to say the width is 1.5 m, and it has the same border. So you know what? We could just take this border, cut it off of here, and put it here. Oh, I know why the border is so thick. I'm getting it on all four sides. Border... Does it change? If I just do border left, it's going to break for the other one, right? Okay, so instead of that, we're going to do this as a background color. Background is current color. And then this, so this one is my vertical one. So this will have a width of 1 pixel. And then, there we go, it looks better. And then this one will have a height of 1 pixel. Aha! Except the width is way too much, 0.5. Top, and then right of 0. Cool. A 30-second little intermission here just to ask you a question. Do you like this style of video where I'm making mistakes, I'm trying to figure out as I go? Or do you prefer it when I have a polished solution and I'm not sort of fiddling around with things a little bit? So yeah, I'd love to know in the comments down below. And yeah, let's keep on going with this and finish it up. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Nice. And then we want to bring this side down. So this is where things get more interesting with what I was saying before. And I'm going to potentially... Okay, we're going to try. So padding is there. Then we have my offsets, which are good. Now I need like a bunch of padding on the bottom. Let's just do 5M, which is okay. Then, so we have a border top, and like I like shorthands, but for something like, you know what we could do? We could say border on all sides, and then we can say border right is 0, and it just turns it off. So yeah, that's sort of what I wanted. And so here we have the shorthand. This just uses the cascade to overwrite that shorthand only for the right side. You could also do like the 3 sides explicitly. It's up to you. So that's good. But now obviously this needs to move up over that. And I think the best way to do something like that. Oh man. Okay, this is where people don't... I'm going to get comments about this, but I'm going to explain why I'm doing it this way. Width, border, padding. I'm going to put my margin here. No, margin goes after width. So I'm going to come in with a margin top of... how much is my padding here? 5M. Negative 5M. And again, a custom property could potentially be used there. Not top, bottom. Silly, Kevin. Oh, that I just realized though, by giving my padding, okay, that's caused other problems. I didn't realize it when that happened. So we've run into another issue, but that's okay. So the issue that happens here, so yeah, I'll explain why I like the negative margin option. I'm just not sure. Okay, we'll deal with the right side in a second. What I'm now going to do is title with border plus star. We'll get a position of relative and a z index of 2. Now, this could break stuff though too, but it solves that problem. One reason I like something like this, I don't think that would break anything. This is where a parent selector would be really useful, just because I could make a parent selector that would force the parent of this to always create its own stacking context, just to make sure this wouldn't break anything. But what I like about this is whatever comes after would always be positioned in the right spot. So that's why I sort of like that, instead of applying it directly to this, because then anytime you had it, anyway, you'd have to muck around a bit too much for my own tastes. So I sort of like that solution, but obviously it breaks my whole thing with these because of my 50%. I did like that 50% one solution. I'm wondering if... Okay, we're going to say that the title here actually, this might help. Border, title with border. I'm going to do a line height of 1. And then I'm going to bring in the same. Is this going to work? I don't know. Let's just try. The same idea that I had before. Bottom is 0.5 m. Top, bottom. No, I can't use bottom then. I have to do this as a height. Height, 0.5 m. Which is the padding itself. Like, I don't like magic numbers because I'd like this if I could get it to work. Because then the same with my top here top wouldn't be there. 0.5 m. Like there, it would line up with that. So this number and this number have to be the same. It's just how do I figure out what that number should be? I could, so title with border, if I explicitly put a font size on here, maybe it would help. So let's try that. Font size of, I have custom properties for my font sizes. So font size, it's pretty small. Actually, no, it's there. We'll try 500 and see what happens. Close enough. It should also be italic, eh? Font style. Italic. There we go. So my font size 500. Now, because I have a line height of 1, let's just see what happens here. I have no idea if this is going to work. Height. If I come in with my font size, it should. Oh, really? I thought I'd have to do more calculations than that. What? I don't know. Did I just get lucky with my padding? Oh, I must have just got lucky with my padding though. Because what if this becomes 1? Yeah, I just got really lucky that the padding there worked with the font size I had. Okay, so I just want to make this so it can actually work a little bit better. So I am going to throw a calc on here. And you might be going, Kevin, it's working. Why are you doing this? But again, the idea here of what I want to do is I want to make it as reusable as possible. So we're going to do a calc of... Okay, so let's just throw offset top. For now, I'm going to just do my 0.5 m because that's the padding. And again, we could use that. Offset top is 0.5. So 0.5 would be lining up at the top of the text. So I want to do my calc is this divided by 2 plus var offset top. Does that make sense? Nothing changed. So it looks exactly the same as where I was. So let's put that here as well and hit save. It still looks exactly the same. But if I change this to 1m, see, it is working. So offset top is actually going to come out of here. And it's going to come all the way up to here. So then I can use the offset top here. We're going back to what we used to have, offset top, a little bit. So the advantage now is if I change this font size to, say, 600, see, it adjusted, it got bigger. It's not matching right in the middle, but it's not bad. So that would work. And I might have got a little lucky, but then my offset top here, I should call this offset left too, just for naming. But if I change this, it will increase the space here and match the spacing there too. Maybe I'm missing something in this, but I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's looking pretty good. And maybe actually, like, yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with that. It could also be with how the font size is being calculated and my ascenders and descenders, which I actually think is what It's not really an issue, but what that is. So there may be a few little things here that we could use to sort of improve things a little bit and get them to be a closer match than what we had. But I think overall, we accomplished this in a bit of a clever way. If you want to know a little bit about how I decided on organizing my CSS while I was writing this, I have a video right here where I talk about how I organize my CSS properties, because I do have a bit of a specific way of how I organize that. And with that, a really big thank you to Zach, Randy, and Stuart, who are my supporters of Awesome over on Patreon, as well as all my other patrons for their monthly support. And of course, until next time, don't forget to make your corner of the internet just a little bit more awesome.